We move to Chengdu as our next series gets underway. This will be starting before our very eyes. The beautiful scenic brings us into this one. OMG, LNG, Hysterics, Raz, and straight away we're going to pull up the band pick before we get into game. Just to have a quick look. Raz, this is why I wanted it. There's a Bard on the field for LNG.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to it. I want to see what...
Let's go.
That's Caveman's, or at least he's now known as Duan.
Yeah.
Duan's Bard. So there's a lot of good work. He's done a lot of great plays, actually, with the pick in the past.
We'll get straight into this game one. To kick things off, let's jump right on in. Because seeing Duan on Bard once again as we're into live and we're at a very good time here. 5 minutes in. Thankfully, no blood just yet. But it looks like we're brewing for a 2v2 in the top lane.
Still gold lead there for LNG. But a lot of pressure here coming in from OMG.
OMG, the aggression begins here in game one. And we walk into first blood that's just been secured by Curse.
Perfect. I mean, the lanes have been looking great from LNG. Specifically, the Aatrox has been getting a CS lead. But you got to see, of course, mid lane shoved out. He was able to come up top side, get themselves a kill. Just as a PSA, the mid laner is not Icon. It's Guoguo.
Yeah, we didn't get a chance to announce it.
Guoguo going up against his former organization. He was a Snake player. Snake, of course, now known as LNG. So he's played with SofM and Flande in the past. So it's going to be fun to be able to see how he plays in this series.
Also in spring, he played in the LDL with Curse. So that was over on Oh My Dream. So these two solo laners have experience together, and it's great to see them in the LPL and show the difference that it's going to make for the OMG squad.
So we've had discussions about what this would mean for the team because for me, I mean, Icon has been a consistent player for the team, but he's been getting a lot of resources. The style has been about Icon as champion picks and what kind of advantage they get for him early.
Not the best start if Flande is able to get into this lane, but just leave it.
But this changes the dynamic for the team, a team that has been wallowing in the 14th to 16th place margin for a few splits now. That's what been getting hit, though.
Yeah, the Yeehaw just hits him about 10 different times as SofM walks away after losing the trade.
You're seeing a lot of grouping up. Yeehan in his past few teams has been the primary focus. They've been invading alongside Yeehan. He's been a major point of pressure. So it's nice to be able to see a shift away from mid lane focus to now jungle focus. We'll see what more leads that can get them because OMG is doing quite well at the beginning of this game.
This might actually give us a chance to quickly just talk about LNG though, because I want to transition to how LNG have built this out on the Aatrox mid, the cannon top, and how team fight ready this team looks.
I mean, take a look at this. This is not a good lane for Asura and Duan. Just based off CS margins alone, nearly 20 CS lead there for Kane, who's been doing real well for himself.
Yeah.
Duan's been getting heavily poked down. When he picked this Bard, I mean, naturally, historically in the LPL, Bard players come out against Tahm Kench. Tahm Kench ends up saving anybody, an Aurelia, a Jarvan, throw in the ultimate, get 2 for 1, and be able to get an all-in just for free. The problem is the laning phase. You can already see that the heavy poke coming in from Tahm Kench, Q, and Ezreal has been really piling in.
You really want to see the Bard roam as well, and that's why people like Lumao picked it up in the past.
Really?
The flash forward from Plex. He pops the ulti into the Ignite onto Yeehan. That's going to be the reverse ulti stolen by SofM. The Vanguard's Edge now cooldown for Guoguo, but aggressive mid lane play. That's exactly what I wanted here in this series.
Thankfully, the sustain from red buff and everything involved helps Yeehan out. That last auto attack wasn't going to be it, but at least there was an added bit of sustain as well to make it even more certain for Yeehan there.
Still gives a lot to SofM here though. Yeehan forced to back, and SofM going to take away the blue buff from Guoguo and take it himself.
Yeah, and he has Krugs right behind him too, so he still has a lot. You don't need that early ult.
Yeah, we'll just throw it. Did a bit of damage against blue, so that's worth.
I don't like that. No, absolutely not.
Able to go back to his own jungle. So stolen away, spotted on by a deep ward by OMG. So they know exactly where he is at the moment, while the bottom lane continues to trade, and LNG actually fighting back pretty heavily here. Kane took a massive chunk.
Yeah, I think OMG needs a good base here. 100% Kane needs his tier. But you can already see Jarvan coming around. I think he's not coming in for the dive, but you're already seeing Aurelia as well. It's going to be good to be able to get full turret plating gold there for it. Wait a minute. Sivir's still here.
Still here on the hunt. Level 6 though, lick, flag, drag, easy kill.
Thought he left the turret ages ago. The man didn't want to lose the experience.
Nah. Stuck around, pays for it with his life. A second kill onto OMG in this early game is continuing to go faster.
Well, that just feels awful.
Yeah.
I mean, the trades went through, and I was feeling pretty good about Asura and Duan until the mid-jungle roam came through, and you're just like, okay, just give up CS, waves, turret plating. It's inevitable. Wait for your jungle to come in, and Sivir didn't get that note.
Has to come back to lane without the Essence Reaver, so still that first item not completed, but 2 core components there in the inventory. At least Duan gets to roam now, though, Raz. He's looking fast. Look at him go. The Bard looking for a magical journey, maybe towards the mid lane.
I mean, there wouldn't be anything to pick up. Lane's pushing in for Aurelia, so if anything, you'll get some maybe control wards down. He has 1 up and available, so you can help out your jungler in creating pressure towards bot side, but shouldn't amount to any kills.
Always get upset when I see a Bard taking Guardian. I always think it's too safe of a round. You want to see that electrocute rapid fire cannon Bard, you know?
He's never going to use it in this lane.
Well,
the range is actually going to... He needs Guardian.
It's fair enough. Probably helped out Asura in some of the earlier trades that we didn't get to see. At least with the mobility boost, he can make roams like this, even to Guoguo in the mid lane that Plex is smacking at the moment.
Yeah, he's been putting up a lot of pressure there. Close to being able to get the kill you saw earlier on. That, you know, when he popped ulti on top of Yihan. That's what's been putting Yihan a little bit behind. After that, you saw it on screen. SofM picks up the blue buff, plays towards top side pretty heavily. So while Yihan had bot side vision, that one trade really messed him up.
Yeah, now looking mid to find some responses. SofM with a level advantage going there. Going to stop this as Guoguo takes the 1v1 again. The Vanguard's edge out with the World Ender 2. Yihan ignores SofM, jumps on the Aatrox, and Chelly picks up the kill with SofM looking for the trade. He's taken a Cataclysm, used it on his own, gets the Kingslayer in, but now for SofM, has to flash! Does the old drive-by and turns away.
That was a fadeaway if I've ever seen one. I thought that it was over for LNG. The moment the teleport comes through, he wouldn't be able to get too much, but God bless, man. Q and flash. Get the hell out of there.
Double kill while Duan moves back to the bottom lane and sends out an ult, gets the flash out of Kane.
You probably saw him eating forward aggressively. It's the only way you would want to use it versus an Ezreal.
LNG being tested here, but SofM coming up big when it matters. Already so far ahead of this enemy jungle matchup. Look at the CS differences. Even Asura in the bottom lane. We just don't stop. So many trades across the map.
Yeah, I'm a little bit more concerned for Asura. I think he wants to find a good back timing, but taking a look at his HP margins right now, he just needs some help.
Yeah.
This is a very confident move to go into a replay. You're right. But this was pretty good initially from SofM. He sees and tracks the Jarvan initially. He even fully takes on the fight, and unfortunately, great combination to be able to get the kill onto Aatrox. But this is what we're here for.
Yeah!
Ooh. That's why we're here, man.
That was sick.
SofM played that fight out perfectly, even with the full combo that OMG laid down on Plex. The fact that he was able to gauge, push back Jarvan, and then track him in, and with a full Cataclysm. Great work on the pick. 2
levels ahead, by the way, and I mentioned 25 CS before. Now 30 ahead is SofM as OMG looking for the trade of Rift Herald of Dragon. Seen this many times here tonight, and we're going to see it once again.
Yeah, they're going to be able to get. It's always a greater early investment to get Rift Herald.
Yep.
Especially since they have position on top lane, so they can just throw it down. It's more of a gamble on the side of LNG. Taking Dragon, let's see what the next one's going to be. If it's a second Cloud Dragon, I'm actually happy about that. I think double Cloud with the composition that they currently have is pretty positive.
Yeah.
But it's with the added risk of you need to make plays with the champions you currently have with the double Cloud Dragon. While OMG is now just going to be getting that full turret plating gold.
Oh yeah, onto Kane and Yihan. At least for Asura and Duan, they will get a trade-off, and they will get some gold into their back pockets for the lane that was losing out so hard. So, turret plating picked up, won't be able to find the first turret. Of course, that goes over to OMG.
There we go. I mean, turret plating trades. Currently, it's much better for OMG. In fact, they can use the Rift Herald up top lane to get full vision control in this side of the jungle. Plex is in a pretty bad spot, I have to say, but Yihan can't take this fight, so understands that pretty fully.
Needs to take that blast cone. Red buff is saved over for LNG.
I would be much happier with OMG's positioning there if Guoguo had the mana to, help support Yihan in that invade.
Yeah.
If he was ready and primed for it, then red side jungle would be a no-go zone for LNG, but unfortunate.
It just goes on. Curse sent to the bottom lane, and Asura still down here. Sivir not willing to leave this lane, and Duan, look at him run at him.
Get away from me.
Curse ult the flash for flash, but Asura's coming in now as well, and this is where Curse has to be careful because SofM for the follow-up. Chilling Smite over the wall, the Renekton ult stolen, and Tempered Fate. Wait for the Cosmic Binding. It'll slow down Curse, but he's taking a while to die. It won't matter. There's no backup in LNG. Give another kill to the jungle.
This is why you love Bard.
Yep.
This is why whenever there's a discussion about balancing a champion, you just want more Bard buffs. It makes the game exciting.
You see, at one point, they actually nerfed Bard, but took it back in the PBE.
Well, I mean,
It was public outrage.
well, it's not that they took it back. They said there was a communication error.
Ah.
Yeah. There is so that one's a deeper discussion.
Okay.
But yeah, Bard gets buffs, so that's fun.
Bard deserves buffs. Kane.
yeah.
Oh, you're close.
I think an ideal, meta would be Orianna, Rumble, and Bard.
Okay.
If you have those 3 champions on my screen and they're actually relevant to the meta, then God bless, you're going to have a lot of action.
See, I disagree. My typical meta is a Lowy meta. I've been waiting for that for years.
That's never going to happen.
Well, one day, I think.
Yeah, one day when she has legs to move faster.
Let's be honest, I shouldn't be greedy. I'm getting Volibear. I was a Season 6 Volibear main, Raz. And I'm just so glad to see him back. Actually main Bard as well, so anything cheesy you can think of, put it right there.
Look, whenever I have balancing discussions with my play-by-plays,
Yeah,
they always talk about some cheesy things.
Okay, to be fair, you're dealing with 2 play-by-plays. One plays Quinn, one plays Volibear, so...
I mean, I also casted with Pulse, who loves himself some...
he likes Alawi, doesn't he?
He loves Alawi.
Yeah.
Anyway, speaking of...
yeah, a 1v2 top laner. Can Curse do it? Needs to pop the Dominus here and goes down to half health. He doesn't have the ultimate available, so I'll correct myself. Ignite goes down. Conqueror's there. Hit. Plex finds it. Ult reset too, and OMG, their responses to go to the top side as Flande, Cataclysm there. He has the ulti available. Level 11, so the cannon has the extra damage. And Vanguard's Edge just walked down from. Nice, Flande.
I mean, Flande knew that he was on the weak side, so he played it as smart as he could, but I don't know about
Tempered
this.
Fate won't find the target, but the abscond abduct onto Chelly. We got more fighting, and get ready for the Cosmic Binding. That's when you launch onto 2 as True Shot Barrage.
God.
Stolen. Chelly's going to die. SofM is pummeling OMG.
This is an SofM game.
Yeah.
I don't care what you say. Being EDG appreciation, not in this venue. And not even for OMG in their own venue. It's SOM's venue now.
SofM is taking over this game. The level 11 jungle is still 2 over. Yihan has set up this mid wave, and Kane has to be careful.
I was legitimately concerned for LNG with their current performance, but this is a great comeback.
It's just since OMG took over this early game single-handedly. But the jungle lead continues to grow.
Just so people know, LNG's future games are only going to get harder. The fact that they took those earlier losses to teams that they should have been able to take down. Well, I mean, Rogue Warriors.
Yeah, okay.
I say EDG is an even one. They now go up against Top Esports in their next match, RNG in the match after that, and FPX immediately after that.
Yeah.
There are some very tough games for LNG's immediate future, so being able to get back on track is something that's very much necessary.
Vying for one of those top 8 positions. Even harder to get here in summer. So for LNG, this will be a good start, but only being game 1. Still need to convincingly pull out a win here as getting that turret, that'll give them a bit of gold, head them in that direction. A 1k gold lead here at 18 minutes for LNG.
They get a lot on this side of the map. Not only this mid lane outer turret, but also the second Cloud Dragon we've been talking about too. So LNG right now, you were talking about how fast this Bard is. That man's going to be a locomotive. Just give him the Cloud Dragon.
Moby's charm.
Yeah.
Double cloud. Oh, triple cloud. Yeah. That's so good.
Let's get as much movement speed. I don't care if it just decreased multiplicatively. Like, if I don't care the fact of it not being a positive. I just want a very fast Bard. That's all I ask for. That's all I asked for.
I want Duan to get Shrelia's Reverie. That's a Bard item. Actually, we did see that on Duan in the first game he played it from memory.
You ask Bard players, and every item's a Bard item.
Yeah.
Mostly AP items.
Yeah, not every item. Don't listen to me with my rapid fire cannon. That's enough of that. 0-0 and 5 in game 1 here for Duan. He's picked up the Redemption as his first item, so Asura definitely going to appreciate that as getting jumped on now, doesn't matter. Throws out a quick shrine and walks away.
I can see him going towards the Knight's Vow if you look at the enemy composition.
Yep.
Full AD.
Cloth armor there, so.
Like, not something we had talked about. Sure, you can already see from Kane, he's going to be the sole AP in this composition, but Makes a lot of sense to be itemizing for Guoguo and Curse.
Let's take a look at Curse at the moment. Curse, Spirit Shojin first. Often see this when Renekton just needs to be that quick damage.
Flande!
Tempered Fate. Flande coming in. The ultimate pop first, and they're just going to bully Chelly once again. The 80 carry turn support locks into a stasis. Abscond Abductant. Asura this time picks it up, and they're so quick to the chase here, LNG.
Every answer was a wrong answer for Chelly.
Yeah. Had a great Tahm Kench game in his debut support here for OMG. But now coming into his second series in the position, under fire.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that Chelly was put in a position where he had to dodge out the Bard ultimate, and if he did, he was closer to the cannon. There's not much you can do there. It's a tough position to be in, but speaking of tough positions, Guoguo, please.
Oh, it's no longer a solo lane. Plex has a bit of help. The Vanguard's Edge available. Will use it onto two members. The magical journey out is Vanguard's Edge for Vanguard's Edge. Plex finds a kill in the end with the help of the Ignite. Curse jumped on as well. He came in to party, but the Aatrox gets the reset, and LNG once again get a kill and get out.
I wasn't concerned about Plex on that one, so I don't think he needed to flash on that one, but just threw it just in case, just to make sure he didn't have to use his ultimate. I mean, his passive.
Not the worst for LNG in the end, though. SofM did die.
Yeah, I mean, this is just an LNG that's active with the control that they have. Now, we're in a pretty dangerous state. I mean, 20 minutes. Baron is a primary focus, you'd have to believe. OMG needs to start putting down some heavy defensive wards in the top side. They're in the area, so at least they're on top of it.
Easy to get to now, especially around the Baron buff. Clearing out some of the control wards of LNG is going to be a must. Let's have a look how this trade came through.
So I really like this from Guoguo. How well he played this Vanguard's Edge too and flashing away, so he bought himself a lot of time. The ultimate damage, the Vanguard's Edge ultimate damage from Silas was the reason he ended up dying. Don't get to say that a lot, but Guoguo in a 1v3 situation came out really well for it.
Good dodge there from Flande. Guoguo getting jumped on once again.
He's a surprisingly good Aurelia player.
Yeah.
Just as a reminder, when we saw him playing on LNG prior, he was the type of person that was Vladimir and Orianna. Really, those two champions, the Galio as well, he was a primary supportive type of player. So the Aurelia was something I didn't even imagine he would look to play here.
Yeah. Good to show the adaptation of the new mid laner here for OMG. Especially in his debut game as Asura walking blindly into Yeehan. Just an escape here for the Jarvan. I'll be honest, Raz, I wanted to see Guoguo play with Crystal and Hoodyer in this team. Get the old snake light happening.
That's true. There's always a possibility for Game 2 and Game 3.
Yep.
We'd have a snake versus LNG game. And that's what we need at the end of the day.
It would be absolutely beautiful. Of course, we haven't seen much of Crystal and Hoodyer in this team. Kane has been the mainstay AD carry, and Chelly now seems to be the mainstay support.
That's because OMG just really loves themselves the 10-man roster. The only position, well, I mean, I guess 13, depends on how many junglers they end up throwing in that area. But they're the type of team that are really just focused within, like, immediate success. Is there a success in the specific role or lane? And they roll with that. And Kane has been recently performing incredibly well. So it makes a lot of sense for him to be a standout right now as the AD carry.
Good to see him on the Ezreal performing as he did on the Sivir. That was his best champion and one that he prioritized heavily. With Asura taking it away, and Kane steps up to the bat. Now 3 items on the Ezreal with Luden's Echo. So facilitates the AP damage we were talking about before. And Kane level 13. This Ezreal is absorbing, seems to be absorbing 2 waves.
260 CS until he takes one. Exactly. He is putting in a lot of work right now. He's pretty damn big. The fact that he's able to play out this well and has his Muramana now fully stacked. He already has his Luden's Echo. He's going to be working towards his Gunblade. If we're just talking about raw damage that Omi's going to be having in these fights, Kane is the person to watch. We saw how well Guoguo has been playing when he's in 1v2, 1v3 situations. But when we finally get our OMG 5v5, this Ezreal is going to be a beast.
Yeah, look at how hard it is to get to him. The front line here for OMG. Kane's going to be jumping around. LNG going to require a miracle. Maybe the triple cloud will help out as Agent 007 down the bottom lane is going to be an absolute speedwagon. But where is he? Cameraman, show me the top.
We need to see the Bard.
I want to see Duan's movement.
Yeah, give it to me.
Look at him go. Get a chime.
Get in there. Yeah, he needs a few chimes.
Yeah.
He really does.
I always want to say charms as well. Don't worry.
All right.
Chimes? Yes. I know, somewhere out there, Rusty's watching this going, I'm proud of you, Duan. Triple cloud, the dream. As OMG contesting for the red buff here, but it will be given over to Asura. Duan waiting patiently here with Tempered Fate up and available. And OMG have really taken back Vision over this top side. Very commendable for them. Around the Baron buff, they have full control, and OMG have wrestled back this mid game to an even point.
So I'm gonna get on my platform here about items, gold efficiency. I do this a lot with SofM.
Okay.
He has the Andres Tournament on the side.
Ah, yes.
And that is not very gold efficient. Depends on how much, percentage health damage you're actually able to do. There's not much to work with unless if it's the Renekton.
Yeah.
Right now we're on the Baron, so I'll put that on hold and see what the response is. There are some very fast individuals.
Oh no, Flande has ult and
yeah.
flag. It's a cannon stopped by the Aurelia Flawless Duet, so he has to go golden as Tempered Fate onto Chelly. The Flawless Duet once again comes into Vanguard's edge, and now for Guoguo trying to take the fight himself, comes into OMG but unable to find it. LNG in a choke, they bring it to be theirs, and Kane now destroyed. The Ezreal couldn't play with the front line. And LNG say thank you very much and tip their fedora.
That is how dangerous that triple Cloud Dragon was. Even with how well OMG played against that cannon coming through, and it really only hit 2 individuals with his ultimate. Didn't matter. LNG had already caught up to you. They already surrounded you. Bard with his ultimate also set him up. So that was a pretty damn good fight from LNG.
And you know what? The Leandres
Don't say it.
Picked up some kills. So what is the next item if you like him? Because it's coming pretty soon.
He needs some CDR. Protobelt is what I would have wanted much earlier. Zonias as well. Protobelt and Zonias are just really, something you kind of need. So the fact that he really held on to that, I'm not a big fan.
Happy times ahead, Raz. This was a happy time for LNG. As you mentioned, Flande didn't get the ult, but everything else worked.
Yeah, they were already there. And as long as they can get that one member to reset the ultimate passive there for Plex, then they were completely fine. So they finally get it. They held them firm too, so the AD carry was, not going to be able to get out. It was essentially a death sentence.
The ultimate targeting from Duan was insane. Chelly didn't get to play the fight or protect anyone. So getting locked down by the Tempered Fate, LNG essentially got a 5 versus 4 and cleaned everything up from there with Asura just hitting so hard. 4,000 damage in that last fight.
That's just something OMG didn't want to even touch. They didn't want to touch the fight whatsoever, but they just didn't have the option to do so.
Yeah.
LNG were just far too fast in the competition. And also that blast cone. God bless that blast cone.
The hero everyone needed, or rather didn't want. Yeah, Yihan, you shouldn't be here. You're going to leave now. Yes, you are. Half health. And the power of the Bard picks continues on. Duan level 12. And that's a Glacial Shroud in the inventory, so we'll see what comes up next. But LNG with the Baron buff, they're going to push this bottom lane turret, and things looking good here.
And they're crashing in these 2 waves at the same time, too. So while they have to concern themselves with this bot lane shove with 4 people, look at the mid lane, too. So Kennen is putting in a lot of work.
Yep. Top lane eventually going to get there. Bottom lane comes through, and Asura clears the wave instantly, and any ricochets going to hit pretty hard, even to the likes of Chelly with the 3 item.
Take a look at this. Now Kennen is on the inhibitor.
But look at Yihan down the bottom. He's looking for the engage. He might actually be caught out as Duan slows him down. Going to get pulled back in with Infernal Chains. As Chelly will save his life, but that Baroned up minion. Kane, you got to hit it.
Yihan needs to go back to base so he can be put back in a position to engage.
Yeah.
They need to start this fight. Finally, he's coming back.
Oh my god, Curse just walks into 2 ricocheting blows, and LNG still looking for the fight. They're not scared at this point. Why should they be against OMG?
This inhibitor, you got to draw the line somewhere.
Could be an opportunity for LNG to try and end the game.
Teleport. There's a teleport happening from the flank. It's a far flank. And he's seen.
He's spot out by
Run
one.
away!
And now LNG just going to chase him down. Look at Asura. He's by himself, though, and the Sivir forced to flash, but now the turn from Plex as he finds himself in a great position. Curse jumps on in. True Shot Barrage hits, but doesn't hit SofM. Look at the Tempered Fate.
My God.
Flande launches on top, and this is going to be it. I'll tell you right now with confidence. The Bard going to find yet another win here in the LPL. Flande finds Guoguo and welcomes him back to the LPL in 2019. And Kane, running as best as he can, will be destroyed as well. Chelly to the fountain, and that'll be all she wrote for LNG taking game 1.
Plex is on a rampage now, and that's a 9-kill Silas to end this game off.
Started the game off strong, ended it off just as strong too. LNG send OMG back in their own arena.
What a game. That was a fast one. That was a good one. That was a hell of a fast one. The fact that LNG You know, we were looking at the initial state of the game when we came in. It was more of a drop ship. We just dropped right into the game hot 5 minutes in. And they already unhanded themselves from bad lane matchups.
Yeah.
They were in a CS deficit nearly across the board. They found themselves top lane and get that kill. And so that little blip, you know, that early gold lead that OMG had just swung right back towards LNG.
Lane's not going as expected has been the theme of tonight, Raz. And once again in a game, this time LNG and OMG, looks like they just took control themselves.
You're never going to have a situation where you have a triple Cloud Dragon Bard. that fact makes me sad.
That's why his stats are not important. Where's the movement speed?
Yeah, you just need the movement speed back.
That's all that matters.
How many miles has been kilometers? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
How many kilometers have been running? Has he been booking it? Is he sweating? That's if we're talking about the next gen for League of Legends, it's just the sweat on the specific champion.
Yeah,
models.
good stats.
So we know how fast they've been running and how long they've been doing it.
I just like that in game 1 against OMG, Duan's willing to pick something like the Bard. I mean, innovation in the LPL has always been a big plus.
I mean, in the LPL, you're right. Like, it comes down to a few members that you know they're going to be picking Bard when the situation is correct.
It is LNG.
Duan, not LNG. Duan, no matter what team he's been on, he's done it when he was on Vici Gaming as Caveman.
I was going to talk about the Mad Scientist being
PYL,
a plus.
But we're just talking about the Bard.
Okay, all right.
PYL and LGD, we have quite a few Bard players.
Yep.
And so on the topic of Bard, yes, we have we have a few. Lumao as well.
Lumao, yeah.
I forgot about him there. I always got to remember Lumao. He has a few on that one too as the Fiddlesticks.
Yeah.
So I love myself the support players that we have in the league
that
can throw this into the mix because remember, there are a few teams that have their kind of picks into the Tahm Kench. Back before the Zac actually got changed, his ultimate was the primary thing that Karsa and Ning actually used to kind of be able to pick up 2, bring him back into the fight, get 2 kills. Now we kind of just have the Bard here, so that's something I want to see a little bit more of. And
Duan wasn't the only point of excitement. It's good to see Plex in form on the Aatrox in the mid lane. I mean, he went for the 1v1. He went for the 1v2, excuse me.
Yeah.
Amidst seeing the jungler, he just straight in.
Right in. I'm a big fan of right now how, you know, LNG are playing these fights out.
Yeah.
I still think, with all of that being said, with how quickly OMG got handled, I'm a big fan of what OMG's throwing at me. Throwing out constant, like, for instance, Guoguo coming in, I think he had a great game, and it's really happy to be able to see him make that, you know, debut performance on OMG.
Yeah.
The fact that he's able to finally come out there and we get to see what he's been working on.
Unfortunately hindered by SofM though in that early game. That was only game 1. The taste of what's to come. Hopefully the full distance as we go into game 2 right after this.